Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mark Leibovit, editor and publisher of the Leibovit VR newsletters, also known as VRTrader.com. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Pleasure to be here, Jim. Thank you for having me.
Mark, do we still have a special offer for listeners?
Yes, we do. Let's do the 50% off and help our listeners take advantage of VRTrader.com, which is the website. It's 2021 half off, 2021 HALFOFF. That's 2021 HALFOFF. And go to VRTrader.com and sign up for any of the newsletters for any time frame using that promo code.
Mark, friend of the show, John Kaiser, said there's rumblings in the U.S. that they're going to start treating cryptocurrencies like any other commodity that's traded. In other words, you'd have to pay capital gains tax on any gains you made from that. Could that chase the money that's been going into Bitcoin and other cryptos back into the gold market?
Oh, I don't know. I don't see why one would have anything to do with the other, but, maybe he's got some more insightful view about it. To me, honestly, I thought anybody who traded cryptos, gold, or any market were paying taxes on the gains. I didn't assume at any point that the crypto trades or losses were exempt from the tax system. So to me, it's all one and the same. But I don't know. A lot of the gold people have been upset because they feel that gold should have done better if Bitcoin hadn't done what it had done, and all the other hot coins out there, like the new doggy coin that Elon Musk was recently talking about. But I think it's a separate issue. The cryptos exist because of lack of faith in the government and the devaluation of currencies, as we know, and the needs for secrecy and the distrust of the system. Gold seemingly had those same aspirations, but the problem with gold is it's heavily manipulated and suppressed, which the governments have been doing for decades, and there's a lot of research that supports that. Gold should be a lot higher than it is, so it can be controlled. The governments don't like the fact that the cryptos are sort of exempt from that, and there's been a lot of rumblings about, trying to suppress them or make them illegal, which I don't think is going to happen, because unless they shut down the internet, free market's going to say this is where it's at. The future is there. Got people like the names like Elon Musk accepting Bitcoin for an automobile, and you've got so many of the companies around the world accepting payment for that. So they've been disparaging the crypto since they started, and they've been done nothing but grow and grow and grow. And I think this is the future. Now, whether gold's ever eventually going to catch up in some way, I guess government suppression is going to have to exit that scene, because they've been playing around with it. We don't even know if they have the gold at Fort Knox that they claim they have. We've had stories about these on that story for decades as well. And I got jilted on an text email on your website last week when I made a statement about we might be mining for gold on asteroids. And somebody said I'm crazy or whatever. Who knows what's going on out there? I mean, there is gold on the asteroids, and there's a lot of gold, who knows, maybe even on the moon and other places. You don't think we're going to go get it? Maybe, and maybe we're already getting it. And they said, oh, how could you do it? The expense is incredible. Well, a lot of money is spent on the space program we don't get back. So who knows what's going on out in outer space. So, there could be other sources for gold that might be suppressing the price as well. So we just have a lot of gold bugs out there. And I'm sure the same fellow who wrote that message is listening to this now. We don't know where all the gold is, created or non-created. We don't understand all the manipulation that's been going on, and frankly, I think silver might be a better trading play for investors than gold. It has so many uses, particularly in the solar industry and other technology, even in health. Silver has health benefits as well. There's got so many other reasons, and silver tends to run late in the cycle. There might be more of a play in silver, frankly, than in gold, even though they probably go up a little bit together. So, long-winded response. You got to trade all these markets. You can't fall in love with any one of them. If you fell in love with gold too long, you got caught in big sell-offs. The same will happen. It just happened. We saw in the last couple of years with Bitcoin goes to 30,000 to 2,000, then up to 60,000. So you got to be a bit of a trader with these markets, which are volatile.
Well, for the person who doesn't believe there could be an asteroid that's made mostly of gold, Sudbury, Ontario sits on top of what was a giant meteorite that was mostly nickel. And that's why they're one of the biggest nickel producers in the world. That came from outer space, so why not just tow one, put it into Earth orbit, and then harvest it? You could send it down in little capsules and parachute it, right into your backyard if you're accurate enough.
It's not only the gold. I mean, the asteroid belt has already been documented as hosting significant amounts of significant precious and non-precious strategic metals that we desperately need here on Earth. Why do you think they're trying to set up a moon base? Frankly, I already feel there is one up there. I've been writing about this for years, but that's a whole other discussion. And mining the moon or other planets for things that we really need. So I'm sure that the plans are underway, if not have already occurred secretly or on a test basis. I think they landed a spacecraft on an asteroid in recent months or years. And
yes, they did, and brought back a sample.
Okay, so whoever wrote that, think again. There's more going on that we're told about, and the possibility that whether it's rare earth metals or precious metals are being mined or planned to be mined and brought back here, obviously could affect prices, and that's something you got to think about. There's no infinite source of anything, so you got to trade. The bottom line is you got to trade these markets. Don't fall in love with any crypto or any gold or silver. You just got to learn there's entry and exit points, and that's the story of the markets.
And no doubt, billionaires like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos are into the space business because they see some kind of profit in it. I'm sure they're not just doing it to spend money.
No kidding. Right. There's huge opportunities out there, whether it's mining metals or whether it's just the thrill of discovery. Elon wants to be on Mars, so we're going to find out what riches lie there for civilization or whether it's just a goal to colonize another planet. But my feeling all along, Jim, and I've been writing about it, and a lot of people think I'm off base, but I've done a lot of research on this for decades, interviewed a lot of people, and I think we're much further ahead in the space program than any of our listeners could even imagine. And you can take that for what you want to take it to be. So I don't think we're told, as the government never really tells us what it's doing and keeps so many secrets from us over the decades, classified stuff for so many years. I think there's stuff going on that would shock people in terms of our space program. So we'll move on from that one.
Yeah, they never told you about both Russia and the U.S. had secret space stations for spy purposes, so they could keep an eye on each other. That's only become public in the last year or two.
Right. So if my prediction is correct, and whether I'll ever be vindicated in that or not, and we find out that there has been an operating moon base for many, many years, and that's one of the reasons why our astronauts supposedly are not going back and forth as much as they should have, or there's some other remnants of some other civilization up there. There's a lot of anecdotal stuff coming from astronauts and from observers on Earth, including Japanese photographs and so forth, that there's things that they just don't tell us about. And why? They don't want to tell us about their success, or they're greedy, they want to keep it to themselves, or they're afraid it's going to upset people and upset our social institutions. But there's clearly things going on up there. So that's my belief, and it's not just based on a hunch. It's based on stuff that I've researched, interviewed people, seen a lot of photographs, and There's a lot of cool stuff going on out there. So the question is, how do we make money from all this? And, meanwhile we have to pay our bills and survive. We can fantasize a little bit about moon bases, but, maybe you just stick with somebody like Elon Musk and maybe take SpaceX public and there'll be a play in that. Who knows? We just have to stay on top of the technology. For example, today in the market near the close, apparently they're an Indian biotech company that has another vaccine that has gone through a third stage of testing, and very encouraging. So the stock took off just at a time when maybe no one thought there might be another vaccine alternative out there. So that made a little bit of money for our people today. So there's always new stuff occurring, and you got to keep your eyes and ears open and watch the charts.
We'll have more with Mark Leibovit right after this.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mark Leibovit. Mark, we don't want to seem spaced out here today, but are there any geocosmic events that are about to occur that will affect, or you believe could affect, the markets?
There's things going on. I posted another solar flare story that hit yesterday. There's something going on in the sun, but we see so many of these solar flares, and my worry is at some point, from left field, you're going to get one that's going to create a electromagnetic event that could shut down power on the planet, and that's why I keep watching all these solar stories just to see if anything like that is occurring. But, I have no control over it. It probably would come when we least expect it, so I'm always monitoring stuff like that. So if it shuts everything down, obviously we can't be trading the market, and it's not going to help us or hurt us unless, I guess, we're short and the market drops. But I'm always watching that stuff. But as I mentioned last week, there is a growing incident of more planetary activity. There's more stuff going on with volcanic activity and earthquakes. It's been upticking. I get little bulletins that come across on my email from there's websites and sources that monitor both earthquake and volcanic activity. And there's something going on the planet right now. And maybe just normal cyclical stuff, but the more that increases, that could affect not only commodity prices and, of course, our weather, but could, as you just suggested, affect our markets if it's more dramatic. So I think there's something cooking out there, and it's going to unfold over the next couple of years, and there are some early signs of it. So, you get into the stock market, you end up becoming a forecaster for a lot of things. And a quick story, as a kid, I always wanted to be a meteorologist, and I loved the weather and forecasting the weather, and I was pretty good at it, and still am pretty good at it, believe it or not. I made some really good calls on weather and stuff, and I am sort of an amateur meteorologist in a way, but that led into stock market forecasting and all kinds of forecasting. So I think you have intuition for these things, just as you have for any discipline. There's good doctors, bad doctors, good piano players, bad piano players. So I'm a little bit of a futurist, and I see stuff, and I've made some dramatic predictions over the years that have panned out. So I'm those who are listening who think that I'm a little left field, they should take Mark Leibovit a little more seriously, because I've been a survivor for 40 years and I've made some dramatic calls in the market and in other areas as well. So if I'm telling you there could be some earth-changing activity coming, some early signs of it, I would pay attention to that. The question is, what do we need to do to protect ourselves? One of the things would be maybe store up on a little extra food and water. If you can have your own water well, for example, supply your own power with solar panels. Do some common sense things that say, God forbid something happens, maybe you could be a little self-sufficient just in case there is something dramatic that happens that shuts off your water and power, and you have to, live, in the dark for a period of time, whether it's, earthquake, volcano activity, whether it's a planetary event, or just if a bad storm hits, it's good to have some backup. So, and again, storing food and growing your own food, particularly hydroponic stuff, I think is very important. So I've been encouraging people that I talk to and clients that growing your own stuff, much of which you can do with solar power, wouldn't make a lot of sense. And if I'm dead wrong, so what? You've got some insurance.
And besides, the stuff you grow yourself tastes better than anything you can buy in a store.
That's true. I think so. So I'm into the hydroponics and growing my own vegetables and stuff. So there's these vertical gardens you can buy now, run on solar, and it's also a lot of fun. So just something to consider.
We'll have more with Mark Leibovit right after this.
Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlin, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mark Leibovit. Mark, what do you think's going on with the U.S. dollar?
Well, it's a bit oversold, and it has been. It's been trying to recover, and I wasn't as bearish on it. We've been talking about this for months. We haven't seen a dramatic move in it, but it's definitely oversold. And then it starts to uptick when interest rates start to uptick, which still may be coming. So, my overall gut feeling is we're going to see a higher dollar and higher interest rates. Now, I'm not saying day to day here, but looking at next couple years, I might surprise the bears out there thinking that the dollar is going to stay down forever. So, I know there's a lot of fundamental reasons why people say, well, it can't go up because we're printing money like crazy and it has to be devalued because of that, and maybe they're right. So right now, just the charts have been saying for a while that it's oversold, and higher rates and a stronger dollar might be at least in the short term forecast, and we'll just sort of take it from there. So we've been trading it long, and we were trading the bond market short, and that's sort of been our near-term strategy.
Mark, any special areas that you're paying attention to that perhaps others aren't right now?
Gee, I don't know what others are looking at or not looking at, but what could I say? I think keeping an eye on the cryptos. A lot of action there, a lot of trading opportunity. Of course, we discussed this a few minutes ago, earlier part of the interview. There's just a lot of new coins coming out. I know Elon is pushing that Dogecoin. I call it Doggy Coin. I think there's a lot more coming in the crypto area, so I'll start paying attention. We actually do a letter, which you can sign up for and get 50% off. The blockchain letter comes out every Friday, and I would encourage you to subscribe to that and take a look at some of the ideas that we put out in the blockchain letter, because I still think we're early in the cycle, and there's more coming for cryptos and blockchain, and like anything else, they trade, and you can trade them, and a lot of fortunes have been made in these coins, and I think there's more coming. So keep an eye out on that. Check our letter out, and with this expression, Jim, there's a bull market somewhere. So current bull market has been in a lot of places, but has also been in the coin.
Just before we go, can you remind people again about the special offer?
Sure. It's 50% off, and the promo code is 2021 half off 2021 HALFOFF, and you go to vrtrader.com.
Mark, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Jim, for having me. Love it. Take care.
My guest has been Mark Leibovit, editor and publisher of the Leibovit VR newsletters, also known as vrtrader.com. If you have any questions for Mark or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at talkdigitalnetwork.com. HowStreet.com Radio is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.